the father gone too far? More like the daughter pushed the father too far. Please don't have kids. Why? I'm so looking forward to you raising a teenage daughter. Guys, if you are not prepared for a teenager to push you in the event that you have a disagreement, why did you have a kid in the first place? They're a teenager. All teenagers do it. Just, if you... Don't get mad at your teenager making the same mistakes you did. It's all a part of growing up. Your teenager will push you. Just remember that they're your kid. That's all there is to it, really. Don't have kids if you're not prepared for that. Shout out to patrons NQS and McPuffin, and to YouTube member Holly Miller for supporting my channel and supporting my content. Thank you so much, guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are taking another look at r/insaneparents. As it sounds, they are parents who are insane and probably shouldn't be parents, but there are a lot of them because a lot of people seem to think that having kids is the right choice. I don't get it. Guys, if you get married, the next step isn't automatically to have children, especially if you're not ready to have children. Maybe prepare to have kids before you have them, you know? Or if your marriage is failing and not going so well, having a child is not going to fix your marriage, so maybe don't go ahead with having a child. There are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have a child and a lot less reasons why you should, so don't have a child unless those reasons you should are like viable to you and important, because it's not going to go well otherwise. That's my little piece before we start. Let's get into it. Happy Thanksgiving! By the way, I'm cancelling your health insurance under me. You're 19 years old and should have a job that provides that. What did I do? Lol. You turned 19? I'm not paying for your health insurance anymore. You should have a job that does that. What jobs pay for health insurance in America, by the way? I'm not up to date on this. I live in the UK where we don't need health insurance because our healthcare is free. So I don't really understand how it works. But I imagine at the age of 19, you're going to be working primarily supermarkets, fast food. In my case, I'm 20, but I work at a warehouse, and I don't get many benefits for doing those jobs, so I don't know what this guy thinks his 19-year-old kid's gonna be doing at this point, but it's not something that's gonna be that worthwhile. They're 19. When I was 19, I was unemployed making YouTube videos. I mean, I'm still making YouTube videos, but I'm employed now. Hey everyone, so I have a 3-month-old and have decided she isn't getting her jabs. Was wondering if anyone had any evidence and good videos about them. I have 2 nephews who aren't jabbed either, but their mothers have been researching religiously for about 10 years. No matter what I research, I can't seem to find anything useful, only how safe they are, etc, etc. Any help would be very appreciated. Thank you. Guys, look, if you're trying to make a hypothesis about something, or trying to do research about something, if no matter where you look or how hard you look, all of the evidence, research, studies, etc. only say the opposite of what your hypothesis is, or the opposite of what you're trying to prove, maybe it's time to reevaluate what your hypothesis is. Because if there is no evidence to back up your hypothesis, then it's not a viable hypothesis. You'll never get a doctorate like this. So my 6-year-old woke up with a fever, 102.7. Took her to the doctor and she tested positive for the flu B. Doctor prescribed her Tamiflu. I don't plan on giving it to her, so that's out. I've been giving her elderberry syrup every 2-3 hours. Her fever comes and goes. What else can I give her? She's eating and drinking well. Now, her fever is coming and going, which clearly means that your friggin' elderberry syrup ain't doing jack, because it's basically just some fruity, sugary syrup. Your doctor gave her medicine. That's what you can do. If you want your daughter to get well faster, if you want her to be more comfortable while she is sick, and if you want her to be happier, give her her freaking medicine. What? I do not understand these kinds of people. If your solutions are not working, why do you carry on looking for alternative medicines, right? If alternative medicines worked, they would be called medicines. Ladies, I need your advice. My 10-year-old daughter needs to get a tooth pulled. There is no abscess or swelling, but definitely a bad cavity. The dentist told me it would hurt very badly if she doesn't take the antibiotics first. Really gave me a guilt trip. We declined them. Do you have any experience with a tooth pull without antibiotics first and it was okay? Obviously it will be numbed, but they said that's not enough due to the infection. I would love your thoughts. Just do the antibiotics. That's my thoughts. So your doctor is like, this is going to be really painful. Anybody that's had a tooth pulled knows it's painful. Anybody that has regular dentist stuff knows how painful that is, right? Getting a filling put in hurts a lot, even with numbing. Now imagine that multiplied by like 50 because they're yanking that tooth out, and you're like, I don't want to give her anything that will make it hurt less. You're a terrible parent. A parent's number one priority with their child should be, how can I make my child's life better? How can I reduce their suffering if they're going to suffer? How can I avoid suffering? How can I make my child healthier? And you are saying, I want my child to suffer as much as possible in the process of having their tooth pulled because you don't trust antibiotics? Meanwhile, she's like, oh, do you guys have any alternative choices? Have you got experience with this? You know, maybe I'll chop an onion in half and put that in the corner of the room. I hear that helps. Update. She was begging us to go to the doctor, and the way she was acting plus her heart rate and everything else made us want to be sure, especially because she was shaking. And as soon as we got to the ER, she puked and peed all over the floor. Doctors don't usually do IVs for kids, but in her case she needed it and is getting fluids. But we are denying any medications, just trying to figure out what is wrong. Doctor predicted croup and UTI, and they are flu swabbing her. So if she has croup, what are some natural things we can do? Same with the UTI and the flu. My daughter's heart rate is high for her age. It's 172, that's a lot. And she has been laying down sick for hours. This is her third time being sick in 2 weeks. She usually never gets sick, but I've been babysitting and have kids with the flu shots who go to daycare in my home recently. No correlation there. They have flu shots. They're not going to spread the flu. They're protected against it, you imbecile. Anyways, she is 3 years old, never been vaccinated. There's your issue. And has a fever of 102.3, stomachache, and says she has to poop but only has once. Those are her symptoms. I noticed her heart was beating really fast, so I took her heart rate 4 times and then downloaded an app to take her heart rate, and they were all the same, 172. Normal heart rate for a 3-year-old should be 80 to 120. 172 is high. Yeah, no kidding. So I'm freaking out. Any idea why her heart rate would be high? My poor baby is such a trooper when she is sick. I feel so bad for her. You clearly don't feel bad for her enough, considering the doctors are suggesting medication that can cure your daughter, or at the very least drastically help. Your daughter has an extremely high heart rate. She is sick. She has stomach issues. She has a variety of issues. And you're like, we're taking her to the doctors, but we're gonna reject all medicine because I just like watching my daughter suffer. We have doctors for a reason. Doctors spend years and years studying. Their purpose is to help people who are sick get better. That's why we have doctors. Well, that's why we have medical doctors, at least. Can't really talk for people with doctorates in other fields. If you're taking a kid to the doctor, trust what your doctor says, because they have sworn an oath. I'm gonna put this out there for some information. If a doctor is dangerous, and yes, dangerous doctors exist. There are doctors that are bad at what they do, prescribe the wrong things, and don't have enough knowledge. And you know what happens to those doctors? They mess up, someone gets injured or killed, and they're no longer a doctor anymore. If you were going to a doctor that has probably been a doctor for years, you can rest assured that they know what they're doing, because they're still a doctor. How is that so hard to comprehend? There's a reason doctors don't recommend alternative medicines. They don't work. Throwback to when my mum yelled at me for being late to school, because I was late because my mum wouldn't let me go to school without straightening my hair because my curls look messy and people would think she was a bad mum. But she's a perfect mum, right? She only made you late to school and then got angry at you for being late to school. What an excellent mum. She couldn't possibly be a bad mum at all. How do people like this end up parents? Like, not only how do people like this end up parents, but how did they even manage to secure a partner for long enough to become a parent? That's what I don't get. They seem to have such toxic personalities. It's amazing they were even able to become a parent. You want to come eat Mexican for dinner tonight? I'm good. Thank you though. So what is your problem? I don't have a problem. Whatever. Why are you mad? Never mind, I will just ask Bella if she wants to go. She's so passive aggressive. This person was like, I don't really want to get Mexican food, but thank you. And they're like, wow, do you just hate me or something? What did I do wrong? That's what you did wrong. Taking everything personally and thinking that everything is an insult because someone didn't want to get Mexican food, that's what's wrong. This is why they don't want to do things with you, because you take everything personally. Change. I need some suggestions. My 16-year-old is a pain in every nerve I have. Super moody, angry, lazy, sneaky, defiant, knows everything, etc. I know, a typical teenager. But I was a teenage girl once, and I never remember being this bad with my mom. You remember wrong. He refuses to use the oils I give him, the soaps I provide, even the supplements I suggest he use. He tells me he prefers the chemically laden store-bought stuff and wants none of these oil things. I sneak oils into his food, spray his room/pillow when not looking, put them on his clean laundry, even rub oils on myself before I touch him to get oils on him. I need help with what oils I should use. Apparently I'm not using the right ones. Does some oils help with female hormones, help with teenage boys? What would you suggest? Thanks. I suggest you cease. I suggest you respect your teenage son's boundaries, and I suggest you stop forcing things upon him. If your son doesn't want to use your weird-ass soaps, your weird-ass oils, or do the weird-ass things that you want him to do, respect his boundaries. Stop spiking his food with your creepy oils. Stop forcing oils upon him when he doesn't want them. Stop putting it on his clothes in his room. Stop all of that. You're being ridiculous. You are being invasive. You are violating his privacy and you are violating his boundaries. Stop it. Let him do what he wants to do. He's a teenager. He's 16 at this point, right? He's going through stuff. He's going through school, which is really stressful. He is also probably going through breakups and relationships and stuff, because that's what 16-year-olds do. Maybe he's sneaking out and drinking alcohol, because that's what a lot of 16-year-olds do. Every 16-year-old does this kind of thing, and that's normal because they're changing. Respect their boundaries and let them deal with their stuff and stop forcing oils on him. They're never gonna see this video, so I'm shouting into a void, but legit, like, these people drive me nuts. I am livid. Yellow has been babysitting me for 7 months now, $100 a week. The hours are easy, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., like a regular f***ing job. And the kids are basically angels. They sleep most of the day anyway at this age. I get a text from her saying she's applying to Walmart and that she can't afford to work for me anymore. She's not paying me anything. I'm paying her. What do you mean afford? Have fun working longer hours for less pay, you ungrateful bitch. And now I'm stuck without healthcare. All the daycares in my area are super expensive, and every time I have posted an ad on a local buy and sell, people have left really mean comments. I'm getting desperate. I can't believe she'd put me in this spot. This is risking my livelihood. I thought she was my friend. $100 a week is very little money. I'm just gonna go out and say that. For a 9-to-5 job, you're paying her a third of minimum wage. She can't afford that because she has life requirements, food, possibly bills, possibly electricity. I don't know what her circumstances are. Comforts, clothes. She has to buy stuff. She's gonna get paid triple the amount you're paying her to work at Walmart. This is going by UK standards as well. I don't know what minimum wage is like in America, but in the UK, I work a minimum wage job and I get a little bit over £300 a week. I get like £320 to £350 a week, and I work from 8:30 to 5:30. So I work like an hour more than she's doing here, and she's getting $100 a week. She's not gonna get less pay for longer hours. She's gonna work longer hours and she's gonna get drastically more money. You are the ungrateful one. If you want someone to be able to look after your kids and support themselves on it, perhaps consider paying them an actual living wage. Otherwise, they're gonna find other work, especially if they're old enough to work. It's all well and good people underpaying teenagers, although I'm also against that, really. Like, come on, they're still people. But when they get to a certain age, they're gonna have to find other work. So that's on you for choosing not to pay her enough for working every day, 9 to 5, and getting $100 a week, which is nothing. I had nightmares about Grandma a couple of weeks ago. She was something alright. Bro, remember when Grandma cut my hair because I didn't wear it up in middle school? She dragged me to the kitchen by my hair and then used kitchen scissors to cut it so unevenly. Yeah, she said, why don't you wear it like blank in a ponytail? You can see your face so much better with it up. But I remember we went to the bathroom and it was uneven as hell and you was crying. But she cut it in the kitchen, right? Because that's where the scissors were. I remember it in the bathroom. Damn, memory warps of traumatic times. I don't get people that force hairstyles on other people. I don't get people that force ways of living on other people. If your child wants to have a haircut because they like the style of the haircut, let them have that haircut, Everybody likes different things. Times change. Something that you found fashionable when you were a kid is gonna be unfashionable for your kid because times change. I mean, look at how people used to dress in the 70s, in the 80s, and look at how people dress now. Times have changed a lot. Trust in your kid to like a style. Trust in your kid to go, I want this haircut because I like this style. Maybe it's because of a TV character, maybe it's because of a musician, but that's the kind of style that is going to be normal. Don't force styles that your kids hate upon them, because they'll grow up with weird self-image issues because they don't like how they look. This is how you create issues with your child's confidence and self-image, because you force your own opinions and looks on them. That's not how you raise a healthy kid. Just saying. I am hurt you would kick me while I'm down. I would never do that to you. It's not about kicking you when you're down. It's about preserving my credit. You've shown me that you don't care about maintaining credit scores. However, I do. I am trying. I do care. I would never do this to you, and you know it. But that's fine. Go ahead and kick your mama. I'm having chest pains and arm pains this morning. Did you have to go to the emergency room about that? I'm not going to. It's a panic attack. Did you have nausea? No, it was a panic attack. There will be nothing to worry about so long as you make those car payments that you previously agreed to. Panicked over you breaking my heart. How about next month you do insurance and I do car payment? Will that work? I believe the context of this was about the mum getting strikes on this person's car that they were letting their mum drive. All in all, their mum's acting like this person trying to preserve their credit score and not get strikes and fines is kicking their mum while they're down. Meanwhile, their mum is trying to guilt trip them by saying they're having a panic attack over it. All in all, this is a really toxic relationship they have with their mum. It's not a good one. And the final post. Well, I've got shingles. I never thought I would say this, but I'm actually happy about it. I've always been scared of it, and if this is it, I'll be fine. They're acting kind of paranoid though, about me being around my baby. I say it's time to host a chickenpox party. So you've got shingles because you didn't get vaccinated against chickenpox, and now you're putting your child through the exact same thing, and you're saying you want to host a chickenpox party and get other children sick? Why are you a parent? Why do you want children to suffer? Why do you exist the way you do? What happened to you? If you want your child to suffer the same way you did, you shouldn't be a parent. That's where I'm going to end the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. A little bit of a long one today, but not that long. If you want to support me and support my content, you can click that join button down below, or equally, there is a link to my Patreon in the description. Consider supporting me. It helps a lot. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.